What is the most successful lie in the history? I acknowledge that I have read and agree to the above terms and conditions. During WW2, the British put fake documents on a corpse and dropped the body in the waters to be found by the Axis. It detailed an attack that never happened. Here's the best part. The plans for D-Day were found in a similar manner. The actual plans. But were ignored cause the Aussie leaders thought it was just another ruse. One of the most impressive ones was when Great Britain convinced everyone during World War II that carrots were the reason why their vision was great when it was really the recently discovered airborne interception radar technologies. I still know people that are convinced eating carrots as kids will ensure 20/20 vision for life. We don't know the most successful lie because it's a lie we don't know of yet. We are experiencing higher than normal call volume. Your call is very important to us. Every single customer service line. Edit. My first awards with ANS ever. Thank you. God wants you to give money to the church. Edit. Why do I have 78 notifications? Please listen carefully as our menu items have recently changed. What a disappointing thread. I was hoping to hear stories of bluffs during battle maneuvers or historical political intrigue. Instead, just a bunch of pithy one-liners. Blah. You are not beautiful. But you could be with this product. Iceland and Greenland. Fat will make you fat. Eating that full of sugar pre-made meal won't. That diamonds are valuable. The lie that made a man the ruler of a third or quarter of humankind. Darius the Great, r. 522 to 486 BC, governed the Achaemenid Empire at its peak. His rule extended from the Indus Valley to mainland Greece and from the Scythian steppes to Egypt. A remarkably high and possibly unparalleled percentage of the world population were his subjects. Darius reorganized the satrapies, which made the administrative system of his empire more efficient, and introduced major financial reforms as well. It was never a secret that Darius became the king of kings after a successful coup. He and a small group of other aristocrats, primary sources refer to 7 men in total, infiltrated the residence of Darius' propaganda. Herodotus, for example, narrates that the king looted Egyptian temples, insulted the local gods and even killed the sacred bull Apis. The problem is, none of that appears in any contemporary Egyptian source. In fact, there are inscriptions showing that Cambyses honored the bull that died in 524 BC with a rich sarcophagus. If things were so, it cannot be excluded that Cambyses was also assassinated by Darius, who we know served as his spear-bearer. His death might have prompted his brother Bardia to take power, since Cambyses was childless. Darius proceeded to eliminate him too and then created the lie about Gamada. Of course, it cannot be excluded that Bardia did indeed rebel against Cambyses. That doesn't change the crux of the matter, which is the story about Gamada. So there you have it. One of the most powerful monarchs of antiquity and a possible lie that went unquestioned for millennia by almost everyone. The previous ruler and killed him after a brief clash with his guards. Shortly afterwards, Darius, who was also a member of the royal house, emerged as the leader of the conspirators and assumed full power. So far so good. Things become strange when it comes to the identity of Darius' predecessor. As far as the primary sources are concerned, Cyrus the Great, r. 559 to 530 BC, had 2 sons, Cambyses, r. 530 to 522 BC, and Bardia. The former succeeded him as king of kings, while the latter was given ownership over the eastern provinces. Fearful of opposition, Cambyses had his brother assassinated, but kept it a secret. Then he undertook the campaign that ended up bringing Egypt into the Persian fold. While Cambyses was in Egypt, he started acting cruelly and erratically, suspected everyone, disrespected the local traditions and the sword. Then a rebellion broke out back in Persia led by Amagus, Zoroastrian priest, named Gamada. The man claimed to be Bardia, and the people, ignorant of the latter's death, flocked to his banner. It also helped that he took short-term populist measures, such as tax cuts. Cambyses rushed home to quell the revolt, but died in the journey. His death was listed as an accident or even a suicide out of desperation for the usurpation. Gamada got to rule as Bardia and then took over the latter's harem. Almost nobody suspected he was an impostor, because on top of everything else he also bore an uncanny physical resemblance to the dead prince. The first man to suspect something was off was a nobleman named Otanes, who would later become one of Darius' 6 companions. Otanes knew about Gamada's existence and was also aware that at some point his ears had been cut off as a punishment. So he asked his daughter, who was Bardia's and now Gamada's wife, to check his ears while he slept. The truth was brought to the light. Needless to say, the story was very convenient for Darius. By killing Gamada, he saved the empire from a fraudulent, cunning and ruthless liar who had gone as far as to assume a dead man's identity and risk civil war in order to take the throne for himself. Darius simply punished him for his crimes and reinstated the royal office to the house it belonged to, the Achaemenid dynasty. But what if the whole story was a lie? What if there was no Gamada, and the man Darius killed was the real Bardia? Indeed, scholars have noticed a lot of problems with the traditional narrative, apart from its convenience. How could the real Bardia's death be kept secret for so long from everyone except a simple magus, and what for? How likely is it that Bardia had a doppelganger who had also the knowledge, courage and brains necessary to take his place at the right moment? And how is it possible that not even Bardia's wives and inner circle were able to see through Gamada's lies? Some scholars go as far as to suspect that Canvas's madness might have been the product of. I have one that's not about Jeebus or religion. McDonald's lied and spread false information about that lady launching a frivolous lawsuit against them just to get rich after she burned herself with their scalding hot coffee. The lie was so successful people to this day believe the lady was just looking to make a quick buck. Another one would be the lie propaganda distributed by the British during WW2. They claimed that carrots improved eyesight. The reality is, they wanted to hide the fact that they had invented radar from the Nazis. So they picked a food that was plentiful and well known to be eaten by their population and claimed the improved eyesight that resulted from this allowed them to better spot German aircraft. Just get good marks in high school. Once you go to a top-tier college, your life is practically set and sorted. What do people generally consider taboo but it shouldn't be? Death. Treating it like a hush-hush topic is so horrible for your mind. My personal one. It's completely okay to admit you don't know jack diddly about something. Intrusive thoughts. It was actually nice knowing other people had them. And that having them doesn't make you an awful person. If I'm applying to a job, I want you, the recruiter, to tell me in black and white how much you're willing to pay me. None of this. So, what is your expected salary? If I'm asked that in an interview, I always respond with, what do you think I'm worth? Reproductive health and basic human anatomy. Mental health problems. It's getting there but is still taboo in many environments. Miscarriages. Everyone wants to know about your family planning, but no one wants to talk about how many people suffer through the physical, mental and emotional turmoil of a miscarriage. Despite the impact, you are expected to act and show up to work as if nothing happened. Periods. It should be the easiest thing in the world to talk about. Taking some time to form your opinions. With the number of issues and information sources, it's no bad thing to want to be as informed as you can before deciding how you feel, rather than just going with your gut from minute one. Asking colleagues how much they make. You should know, so you can be treated fairly. Couples sleeping in separate beds. Many couples sacrifice good sleep because they are expected to sleep together. Talking about money in relationships. What is the most unnecessary thing in ORN? The fake moaning. If ORN used more realistic moaning for when something actually would feel good for that person, then X in this world would be so much better. I had a Japanese partner, and while she did moan, she did not sound like I was ucking a dolphin, baby mammal, or a tea kettle. Woman performs oral on other woman with the passion of licking a postage stamp. Other woman. OMGIMUMMINGA. Yeah, yes, why, yes, oh my god. Y yeah The X. It's so annoyingly drawn out, like just get back to the plot already. Every woman ORN model over the age of 30 being cast as a stepmom in an incest video. Every other girl under the age of 30 being cast as the stepsister in an incest video. Why does everything need to be incest? Music. The interviews before the action form gonzo-style European-produced stuff. Usually an Italian guy who speaks English with a heavy accent trying to have a conversation with a Hungarian or Czech girl that knows 10 words in English. He goes like, "How old are you? You like sex?" Then tries to make some weird joke. She doesn't understand but smiles and nods. It's all so cringe. Zooming into the dude's SS hole until you see his kidneys. Enemas and preparation. Let's see what really happens when you get ucked in the SS randomly by the plumber. All of the bullshit needs to go. I have no desire to see you UCK your stepmother, stepfather, stepsister, or stepbrother. Shower scenes with cold water because the lens would fog up. The hour intro. When the go straight from null and back into the agina. Like you're just giving her a major infection right there. Showing prolapsed SS holes. I'm fine when they fill up whatever holes, but can't I watch without them pulling out to show off their gut flower?